Hey everyone, in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how I made this back to school intro using my iPhone. So let's get right into the video. So the first thing that we're going to do is you're going to open up Pinterest, and in the search bar, you're going to search the background that you want. So I want it to be like a desk look, so I'm searching wooden, and you're going to see all these different types of wood options pop up. I chose this one here and I just saved it to my camera roll. You can keep scrolling and find one that you personally like, but this is the one that I chose. Then in the search bar, we're going to search the composition notebook or whatever type of notebook that you want, but I want the standard composition notebook. And I'm going to click this one here that is blank in the center instead of it saying composition notebook or having lines. So that's the one I click and I save it to my camera roll. Then from here, you're going to add whatever products that you want to feature in your intro. So I'm searching Summer Fridays Lip, and I'm going to scroll until I find one that I like. I like this one here, and I'm going to save the image to my camera roll. And you're going to do that for a couple more items. So for example, I put AirPods in my intro, so I searched AirPods. I clicked this first one here, and then I clicked download and saved it to my camera roll. And then I clicked the one on the side of that, and I downloaded that one as well. Sometimes it's good to have different options, or if you want to use it for the next slide. Then I searched rip tape, and I found this option here. This is where we're going to put the name in the first slide. So I just saved it to my camera roll, and you want to save as many images as you want. So again, like I'm searching the pink pen, and I found this pink one with like the pom-pom at the top. And so I saved that to my camera roll as well. Once you have all the images that you want for Pinterest on the first slide, you are going to go to CapCut and you're going to click new project. You're going to click the photo of the wooden background. Then once you're in CapCut, you are going to scroll at the bottom until you find aspect ratio, and you want to click where it says 16:9, where it has the YouTube logo. This is the correct size for a YouTube logo. So from here, I'm just clicking on it and I'm turning it around. I'm zooming in and making it bigger so it fits the whole screen. Then from here, we're going to go into our eraser app or website. I'm using Photoroom, but I always have a free eraser website linked in the description below. And first, we're going to click on the composition notebook. And my eraser app kind of messed it up, so that's okay. You're just going to click where it says edit cutout. You're going to click restore, and you're just going to drag the restore like little icon around until it restores the parts that got messed up. And then from here, we're going to scroll down until we find the option that says transparent. You're going to click on that. You're going to click on the composition notebook. You're going to make it smaller by using your 2 fingers. And then you're going to click shadow custom. And then you're going to click move 2D. And you want to move the shadow to the left so that it looks like it's sitting on the desk. You want it to look like it's going to sit on the desk. So you're going to go back into CapCut, and then you're going to click on add overlay, and then overlay, and then you're going to click on photos, and you're going to add the photo of the composition notebook into CapCut. You're going to zoom in and make it bigger and look like something on the screen. So it should look like this. Then from here, you're going to go back to Photoroom, and this is where we're going to erase the background of all of our images. So you're going to click on replace, and you're going to erase the background of whatever products that you have. So I'm going to do the Summer Fridays lip balm. Then you're going to scroll until you find shadow. Then you're going to click shadow. You're going to click custom 2D, and then you're going to make the shadow behind the product. So it's going to look like it's sitting on top of the notebook. And you're going to do the same thing with all the products. So next, we're going to do the AirPods. You're going to erase the background of the AirPods, and the shadow will already be there if you click the option that says replace, that big button that says replace. If you keep clicking that option, then you can just add the next product in, and it should automatically add the shadow that you had from the last item in there, so you don't have to keep manually doing it every time. Then from here, you're going to go back into CapCut. You're going to click on add overlay and then add photos. And then you are going to click the first item. Again, I'm using the Summer Fridays lip gloss. And then you're going to move it to the top. Then you're going to add the next item. For me, it's AirPods. I'm going to tilt it and I'm going to add it to the bottom left. And then the next item is the pen. So we're going to click on overlay, add overlay, and then you're going to add the pen. Then from here, we want to adjust the colors. If you notice, they're not all the same shades. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on one of the products. For example, I'm using the Summer Fridays product. You're going to click on it. At the bottom, you're going to scroll until you find adjust. Then you're going to find HSL, and you're going to click on the color the item is, and I'm going to adjust the hue, saturation, and lightness. So you can just move them around until you get it to the color that you desire. So I'm going to do the same thing with the pen. I'm going to move around the saturation and hue. Then I like to go back under adjust, and I like to find the option that says saturation, and I like to higher mine a little bit so it looks a little bit more vibrant. And so I higher mine to about 30 on both of the products. And so that's what I'm doing here. Once you get the products, the colors that you like, then I'm going to drag everything out and make sure everything is the same length at the bottom. Then I decided to click on the wood in the background, and I just lowered the brightness a little bit because I felt like it was a little too vibrant, but you do not have to do that based on how yours looks. Then from here, we're going to add text. So you're going to click on where it says text and then add text. And where it says enter text, you're going to put back. Then you're going to go to fonts, and you're going to search this font right here. I don't know how to say it, but it's right there. I'll have it where you can copy and paste it from the description. But then what you're going to do is you're going to go to effects, and you're going to scroll until you find textured, and you're going to scroll until you find one that you like. If you want the cheetah one, you just have to scroll until you find it. I have mine saved, so this is what it looks like right here. It is a pro effect. So if you don't have pro, you can't use it, but there are other effects that you can use. Then from here, you're going to click where it says back, and you're going to click duplicate, and you're going to delete where it says back, and you're going to put the number 2. And then you're going to go back to effects, and this time we don't want the cheetah effect. We want this like pink outline effect. So we're going to go to the options that say pink, and there's plenty of different options that you can choose from. I use this one here. It is free, and this is the way it looks. So I'm just going to make it bigger, and I'm going to tilt it so it looks something like this. Once you get that, you are going to go back to where the word that says back, and then you are going to duplicate that, and then you're going to type school. And so it should already be in that same text since we duplicated the back text, and it should already be in that same cheetah effect. And you're going to put that right underneath just like this. Then you're going to adjust it till you get it the way that you like yours to look. And this is how it should look. Then from here, we're going to add animation. So you're going to click on the word back, and you're going to find this type 1 animation, and you're going to put it to about 1 second. Then you're going to go to the number 2, you're going to click animations, and you're going to search this animation scale by half, and you're going to put that to 1 second as well. Then you're going to click on school, and you're going to move it behind the 2 so it looks like a diagonal line. And you're going to go back to the text 1, and you're going to put that at 1 second as well. And this is how it should look. It should be where the back is first and the 2 is second, and then school is third, and it should look like this. So that way everything comes in one at a time. So you may have to align it like I'm doing here because some things might need to be moved. So you want each animation to start when the last one ends. So that's what I'm adjusting here, and it should look something like this if you have it correct. Once you have that, we are going to go back to school, and you are going to click styles. You're going to click bold, italic, and we're going to click the I to make it italic. So it looks like it's tilted a little bit. And then from here, I'm just going to click on the notebook, and I just sharpened the notebook so that it was a little bit higher quality. So you would just go to adjust and then sharpen, and I put it to 100%. Then from here, you're going to go back into your eraser app or website. Again, I'm using Photoroom, and you're going to erase the background of that like scrap paper tape that we saved from Pinterest. You're going to erase the background, then you're going to go to shadows, and you're going to click custom, and you're going to put it so it's right behind and it looks something like this. Then from here, you're going to click add overlay, and you're going to click photos, and you're going to select that scrapbook paper that we just erased the background of, and you're going to make it smaller. Then you are going to scroll at the bottom until you will see the option that says flip, because I wanted the tape to flip the other direction so that the tape is at the top left and the bottom right. But if you're not using the same one as me, you don't have to do that. Then from here, you are going to scroll at the bottom until you find adjust. And since my paper has that pink tape, I want it to be the same color scheme as the other pink items that I have. So I'm just going to go back to adjust and then HSL. And I'm just going to play around with the pink color to make it similar to the colors that I already have. Again, if you're not using the same one as me, you don't have to do this step. Then from here, we're going to get the font for the next step. So you're going to go to dafont.com, and in the search bar, you're going to search the font Love, and you're going to click on it. It should be that first one there. Then you're going to click where it says download, and then at the bottom, you're going to see a blue circle that has all your downloads. You're going to click on it, then you're going to click downloads, and then you're going to click on that Love font. It's going to bring you to your files where you can hold down on it and click uncompress. Then you're going to go back into CapCut. You're going to click on text, then you're going to click on fonts and then my fonts, and then you're going to click the plus sign. You're going to click my fonts. Then in the search bar, you're going to search Love, and then you're going to click open, and then it should pop up. I already have it in there, so it's going to say font already there, but if you don't, you'll have the font. I have the link for the font linked in the description below that you can use. Once you have that, you are going to type in your name or your channel name, and you are going to type that out, and it should already be in that font. If it's not, you can use the font that you just saved from dafont.com, or if you don't want to have to do all those steps, you can use any font that's already in CapCut. Then from here, you're going to click on the paper with the tape, and you're going to click on animations, and you're going to search the animation fade in, and you're going to click on that first one there, and it should be at about 0.5 seconds. And you just want to have it come in a little bit after the text, and it should look something like this. You also want the channel name text to also be at 0.5 seconds animation, and it should look something like this. Once you have it looking the way you would like it to look, you are going to export it to your camera roll. Then from here, you're going to go to the top where it says new video. You're going to add that video that we just saved, the first part, into the new project. Then at the beginning, you're going to see where it says cover, and you're going to choose a cover that you're going to remember to be the final project so you can go back to it later on. So once you choose that cover, you're going to exit out of that, and then you're going to see your project under the main feed. You're going to click the 3 dots right under it, and you're going to click the option that says rename, and you're going to rename it something you're going to remember. I like to rename it final, so I know this is the final project. Then from here, we're going to go back into Pinterest, and now we're going to save more items. So we're going to find lined paper for the next background for the next part. So you're going to find lined paper, find one that you like, and you're going to save it to your camera roll. Next, you're going to find the items again that you like. You can choose any items of your choice. I'm using the Touchland hand sanitizer, so I found this one here and saved it to my camera roll. Next, I wanted to use a cherry keychain. So I just searched cherry keychain, I found one I liked, and I saved it to my camera roll. Then next, I did a pink claw clip, and I found one that I like, and again, I saved it to my camera roll. And basically, you're going to keep doing this until you find as many products as you'd like. So for this one, I'm using a pink shiny heart. I found one that I liked, and again, I saved it to my camera roll. Then from here, you're going to go back into CapCut. You're going to click new project, and you're going to select that background, the white lined paper, into CapCut. Then you're going to click on aspect ratio. You're going to click 16:9, and you're going to make it bigger, just like we did for the wooden background in the first part. Then from here, you're going to click add text, and in the text bar, you're going to type connect with me, but you want connect on the first line. Then you want to click return and type in with me. Then from here, you're going to go to fonts, and you're going to find the font that you used in the first slide in the beginning. And you want to use that same font that you used for the cheetah print. So you're going to use that. Then you want to go to effects, and you actually want to use the cheetah print or whatever texture that you used in the beginning. And a good way to save it is you can hold down on it, and you'll see a little bookmark pop up, and that way it'll save to your favorites, so you don't have to go and look for it every time. It'll be under your favorites. Then from here, I just went to styles, and I just went to spacing, and I highered the line spacing a little bit because I felt like the words were a little too close together. Then from here, you're going to go into Canva, and under create in the search bar, you're going to search square. Then you're going to see start from blank, and you're going to see a bunch of different options. I just clicked the one that said Instagram 4x5, and it's going to pop up like this as a blank screen. Then you're going to go under where it says elements, and you're going to search film reel. And then you're going to go to frames, and you're going to see this option here, and it has 5 frames in a film reel, and it looks like this. and you are going to make it bigger and you're going to center it. Then from here, we're going to add pictures into it. So you're going to click on camera roll. You're going to click the picture you want and you're going to click add, and you're going to add it and you're going to drag it into each of the grids in the film reel, just like I'm doing here. Once you have that, you are going to double click on any of the photos if you need them to be bigger or you want to adjust them. Once you like the way it looks, you want to save it to your camera roll. So you're going to click the up arrow at the top right corner. You're going to click on that. You're going to click where it says download and make sure the file type is PNG. For time's sake, I'm going to save it as a transparent background, but if you do not have Canva Pro, you would just go back into the same eraser app or website that you were using before to erase the background. Then from here, you're going to click on overlay and then add overlay. Then you're going to go to photos and you're going to add the film reel into CapCut, and it's going to pop up on the screen. You're going to tilt it and make it bigger, and you want to put it to the right side of the screen and you want it to look something like this. Now you can leave it looking like this, but if you want it to move, you're going to add keyframes. So what you're going to do is you're going to see a little diamond icon, and when you're at the beginning of the timeline, you're going to click on that. Then you're going to move the white playhead, which is the white line, to where you want the film reel to end. And you're going to physically drag up the film reel. And you're going to notice it automatically adds another diamond shape. And now this is how the keyframe works. It's basically like adding an animation. So this is how it looks. And you can adjust it if you feel like you moved it too much or not enough, but this is a very simple way that you can use keyframes. Then from here, once you have that, we want to add all the other products into the project, but first we need to erase the backgrounds. So again, you're going to go into your eraser app or website. Again, I'm using Photoroom, and you are going to erase the background of all of the images that you saved before from Pinterest. So you're going to erase the background, you're going to click on it, you're going to click shadow. Then you're going to click where it says custom, and you can move the shadow around to get it in the angle that you want it to be so that it actually looks more realistic. So I'm going to do that for all of the products. Then from here, we're going to add a sticker. So once you erase the background for the heart, for example, you are going to not only add a shadow, but we're going to add an outline. So you're going to click on outline, you're going to put it to whatever you like, and you're going to notice that it looks a little bit more like a sticker. We have a white outline, and then we move the shadow right behind it, so it looks a little bit more like a sticker. And we're going to do the same thing for 2 photos of yourself. So again, this is my model for the video, and we are going to erase the background of her image, and we're going to center her, and you are going to click outline. And for the stickers of people, I like it to be at about 12, so it looks something like this. Then you want to go back and add a shadow. So you're going to click on shadow, custom, and you're going to put it so that it's right behind her. It should look something like this, and you're going to do it for another image. Once you created both stickers, we're going to go back into CapCut, and now we're going to add everything and make it come together. So you're going to click on overlay and add overlay, and you're going to start adding photos. So I'm going to start adding this photo here, and this is the one that goes a little bit over the film reel. So it's going to pop up on the screen, and I'm just going to make it bigger and adjust it and put it where I want it to look. And same thing with the cherry keychain. I'm going to turn it and I'm going to put it on the screen, and you're just going to watch me do that for all of the items. And you basically want to make it look something like mine or however you personally like yours. So you're going to watch me do that here. Once you have all the items where you like them to be, you are going to color adjust them so they all are around the same colors. So like the same steps that we did in the first slide, you're going to click on an item, you're going to go to adjust, then you're going to go to HSL, you're going to click on the color that the item is, and you can move the hue, the saturation, the lightness, and the brightness, and you can play around with it. There's other options in the adjust section as well besides HSL, so you can play around with it and get it the way you'd like yours to look. And you're just going to watch me do that here. Once you have that, we're going to go back into Pinterest, and now we're going to get our logos. So for mine, I'm using Instagram and TikTok. So you're going to go to Pinterest and you're going to search black Instagram PNG, and you're going to do the same thing for TikTok. So black TikTok PNG, you're going to find the ones that you like, and you're going to download the images to your camera roll. Then again, you're going to go into your eraser app or website, and you're just going to erase the background. But this time we do not want to add a shadow. So you're just going to erase it, adjust it, and center it. And then you're just going to save it and do the same thing with your other social medias that you want. Once you have that, we are going to go back to CapCut, and this is where we are going to add them. So you're going to go to add overlay. You're going to click on photos, and you're going to add the first logo. Again, I'm using Instagram. And you're just going to make it smaller and put it right under the connect with me. Then you may have to adjust the connect with me part just like I did. I just made it smaller and then centered it. And then I just moved the Instagram icon and dragged it all the way out. Then from here, I went to text and then add text. And then I just typed in her username. Then from there, you want to make sure it's in the font, the love font that we saved from dafont.com, or whatever font that you used in the beginning for the secondary font. Then you're just going to go to styles and make sure it's just plain black, and you're going to put it right after the Instagram icon, and you're going to drag it out. Then you're going to add the next icon for the social media. So again, I did TikTok. It's going to pop in. I made it smaller. I put it over the Instagram so that I could size it about correctly, and then I dragged it to after. Then I clicked on the username from before from the Instagram. I clicked duplicate and I dragged it, and then just changed the username so it fit whatever her TikTok username is. And this is how it should look. Then from here, we're going to add animation. So you're going to click on the sticker at the top left, and you're going to search fade in, and you want to put them to 0.5 seconds. You want to do the same thing for both stickers. So you're going to click on animation, put fade in, and have it at 0.5 seconds. But you want the top left sticker to come in first, then the bottom right. So you're going to make sure the first one comes in first, and then the other one comes in second. So it should look something like that. Then from here, we're going to add animations to our icons and text. So you're going to click the Instagram icon and click fade in, and it's going to be at 0.5 seconds. Then you're going to click on the first text, the first username, and you're going to drag it out. You're going to do kind of like how we did for the back to school in the first slide, and you want it to be like a diagonal line so that they each come in one at a time. So we're going to search the animation type 2. You're going to click that first one there, and you're going to put it to about 1 second long, and it should look like this. So you want the Instagram icon to come in first, then the username, then the TikTok icon, and you want that one to also have the fade in animation to 0.5 seconds as well. Then for the TikTok username, you are going to click on that, and you're going to put the type 2 animation as well. So basically you want the Instagram icon to come in first, then the Instagram username, then the TikTok icon, then the TikTok username. So whatever order you have it in, you want it to come in one at a time, just like this. And you want to make sure it comes in smoothly. So again, you want the next one to come in as soon as the last one ends. So something like this. Once you have that, we are going to add the pen. So the pen with the pom-pom from the beginning, you want to add that in. You're going to notice it's going to be behind everything. So at the bottom, you want to scroll until you find layers. Then you want to put it in front of everything. And you want to make sure the layers say all, and you want it to be in front of everything just like this. Then we're going to add keyframes again to make the pen look like it's moving and actually writing everything. So what you're going to do is you're going to put the pen right on the Instagram icon right in the beginning. And you want your playhead, again, that white line, to be right at the beginning of the clip. And then you're going to click the diamond keyframe button that we mentioned before. Then what you're going to do is you're going to move the playhead a little bit so that you see a little bit of the text. You're going to take your two fingers and you're going to physically tilt the pen so it's in the opposite direction, and you're going to move it to the end of the text. Then what you're going to do is you're going to move again the playhead just a little bit more, and then you're going to see a little bit more of the text pop in, and you are going to tilt the pen in the opposite direction, and then you're going to move the pen to the end of the text that you can see. And this is how it should look. I have it slowed down right now, but it'll be a little bit faster once I speed everything up. But you're going to keep doing this. So you're going to move the playhead a little bit more, and you're going to move the pen to the last part that you can see, and you're going to tilt it. And you're going to keep doing that until you get to the end. Once you get to the end, you are going to move the pen and tilt it outwards, just like you see I'm doing here. And it should look something like this. Once you have that, I'm just changing the color of the pen to match everything else. So I just went to adjust and I just changed the HSL and saturation, but this is how everything should look so far. Once you have that, you are going to save it to your camera roll, and then you're going to add it to that project that we saved the cover to that we titled Final. You're going to click on that project and you're going to click that white square with the plus sign. You're going to click on that and you are going to add the second clip, which is this clip that we just created. And this is the two clips that you should have so far. Then from here, you're going to go back into Pinterest, and I want to save a camera. So I'm going to search pink camera. And there's plenty of different options to choose from. I choose this one here and save it to my device. But again, you don't have to use the same colors or elements that I'm using in this video. Then from here, we're going to go back into CapCut, and that project that we just worked on with the Connect With Me part, you're going to see three dots in the bottom right corner of it. You're going to click on it and you're going to click duplicate, and it'll create a second project with the same stuff from before. That way we don't have to redo everything, but I'm going to delete all the elements that we added. The only things that I want to keep is the Connect With Me text and the white lined background. So I'm just deleting everything else. Once you delete everything else, you're going to click where it says Connect With Me. You're going to move it to the bottom right. You're going to double tap on it. You're going to delete the word Connect With Me, and you are going to put your channel name down here. Or you can put whatever type of text that you want. For this, I'm just putting her channel name. Once you have that, we are going to go back into Photoroom or your eraser app or website, and I'm going to erase the background of the camera so that way I can add images into it. So you're going to see that there's still white part in the camera. I'm going to click Edit Cutout. I'm going to click Erase, and then I'm going to click Assisted, and I'm just going to put like a line so it erases it. And then if you need to restore anything or retouch it, you can do that as well. Then I'm just adding a shadow like we did before, just clicking shadow, clicking custom and move 2D, and then putting it right behind it. Then from here, we're going to go back into Canva, and you're going to click on that project that we saved from before with the film reel, and you're going to slide it to the left. So that way you can create a second page. And in the second page, you're going to search elements, and you are going to search Polaroid. And you're going to see that first option under frames, and you can use that one. Then you're going to click on camera roll, and you're going to select a photo of your choice, and you are going to drag it into the frame. And then you are going to double tap on it if you need to and adjust it. Then from here, you are going to save it to your camera roll as a PNG. Then I went back into my eraser app or website. Again, I used Photoroom. If you notice, like I mentioned before, that it erases too much, you're just going to go to restore and you're just going to fix it. Again, if you have Canva Pro, you can just save it as a transparent background, but I wanted to show you how to do it if you do not. So that's what we're doing here, and we're just going to save it. Then we're going to go back into CapCut, and we're going to click overlay and add overlay, and we're going to add the camera first. So we're going to add the camera, we're going to tilt it, and we're going to make it bigger, and we're going to add it right around here, and we may adjust it a little bit later on, but this is where we kind of want it in this facility. Then you're going to drag it all the way out, and you're also going to add the Polaroid, and you want the Polaroid more on the top right side. So this is how it should look so far. Then from here, we're just going to adjust everything a little bit. Then we're going to add our other elements. So you're going to click overlay and then add overlay. And then you're going to choose the elements that you want to add to your end part. So I'm using the Summer Fridays lip balm and I'm moving that to the upper left. And then I'm also going to add the pen and I'm going to turn it upside down and I'm going to put it at the bottom left. And the rest of the elements, I'm just going to have you watch me add. You can add as many or as little elements as you want. So I'm just going to have you watch me do that. Once you add the elements, you're going to erase the background and create one more sticker of yourself. So you're going to do the same steps as before, erase the background, add an outline, and add a shadow. Once you save that, you're going to go back into CapCut. You're going to add that as an overlay and you're going to add it a little bit over the camera just like this. And you're going to make any adjustments to the items that you'd like. Then we're going to add a video. So you're going to click overlay and add overlay. Then you're going to add a video of your choice. You're going to see it pop up and most likely you're going to need to mute it. So you're just going to click on the video. You're going to find volume and turn it to 0. Then at the bottom, you're going to scroll until you find crop. And you just want to do an estimate about around how the camera is sized. It doesn't have to be exact. So that's what I did. I cropped it and clicked the check mark. Then I just put it over the camera, something like this, and just adjusted it. If you need to crop it more, you can click crop again and adjust it. Then at the bottom, you're going to scroll until you find layers. You're going to click where it says overlays, make sure it says all, and you're going to hold down on the video and move it all the way to the end so that it's behind the camera. So that way it literally looks like it's coming out of the camera. Then from here, you're going to adjust the clips. If you need to make it shorter or longer, you can do that here, and this is how it should look. Then from here, we're going to add text for the Polaroid. So you're going to click text and then add text. And I'm typing in the word subscribe and I'm changing the font to that same love font from before and making sure it's just plain black. And I'm making it smaller and putting it right over the Polaroid. You could put whatever you would like there. Then from here, you're going to click on the Polaroid. You're going to click animations and we're doing a slide down animation. You can do whatever animation that you personally like. I just like the slide down animation. And then for the text where it says subscribe, you also want to add an animation so it's not just sitting there. So I just did the fade in animation. You can just search it, search fade in, and you want to adjust it so that it all matches evenly so that it looks like it's all part of each other and one doesn't just like pop in randomly. So you're just going to see me do that. Then you're going to click on the sticker you made of yourself and you're going to shrink it down a little bit so it comes in a little bit. Then you're going to click on animation and we're going to add fade in. So that way it doesn't come in right as soon as the video starts. You want it to come in a little bit later. So it should look something like this. Once you have that, we are going to adjust the colors again. So I'm just going to speed through this because we've done the colors so many times. You're just going to go to adjust, change the colors. You can adjust the colors as many times as you want. And this is how I have mine looking. Then once you have that, you are going to save it to your camera roll. I always shut off AI Ultra HD. You're just going to save it to your camera roll and you're going to add it to the final project that we saved the cover to that already has the first 2 parts. So you're going to click that white plus sign. You're going to click on that and add this part to it. And now you should have these 3 parts into the final project where we're going to do the final edits. So from here, we're just going to edit things so it's a little bit shorter. So you're going to shorten up the back to school part so it's not so long. And you're going to do the same thing pretty much with all the clips. You don't want it to drag on and be too long. So that's what I'm doing with all the clips. Once you have the length the way you would like it to look, you are going to see a box between each part. And this is your transition box. It's a white square with a line through it. You're going to click on it and in the search bar, you're going to search page flip. There's a couple different options. I end up changing it later on, but if you want to have just like the standard page flip, this is how it would look. You'd put it to 1 second long. And this one is a pro animation, but there are so many other ones that you can choose from as well. So that's how that would look, and you can do any more adjustments if you feel like with the transition it needs a little bit more adjusting. Then you're going to click the next transition box, the one from the second to the third slide, and in the search bar you're going to search paper, and you're going to click this one here that says paper split. That's the one that I use, and I put it to 1 second long, and it should look something like this. At this point, the next steps are optional, but if you just want to add a little extra something to the intro, you're going to add the paper plane transition. So you're just going to go to YouTube and search paper plane green screen. I will have the link in the description below so you can have the exact same one. And you want to screen record it and you want to crop it. And then you're going to go to overlay and then add overlay. And it should look something like this once you crop it down. And you're going to click add. Once you have that, you are going to notice there's like a big space before it even starts. So you're just going to shrink it down a little bit. You just want the part where it actually starts. And so from here, what we're going to do is you're going to scroll at the bottom until you find remove BG. Then you're going to see an option that says chroma key. You're going to click color picker and you're going to select the green. And then you can higher the intensity or you can clean up edge if you have pro, and it'll get rid of all of the green. And you want to make it nice and big so it fits the whole screen. And so now you should have this. But now we want it to look like it's actually transitioning with it. So I actually went to go change the transition from before. Instead of the page flip, I'm actually going to do flip page. I know they're so similar sounding, but it's actually this one where it flips like that instead, and it makes it easier for the plane to look like it's part of it. So you want to physically move the green screen so that it aligns with where the page flips. So you're just going to make sure it aligns perfectly, and it should look something like this. Once you have that, you're going to add a video effect. So you're just going to go to effects and then video effects. And in the search bar, you're going to search faint particles, and it's going to be this first one here. And I'm just adding it to the beginning where the composition notebook is. And this is how it looks. Now we're going to add sound effects. So the first sound effect is from YouTube. I'm going to have the link in the description below. You're going to screen record it, and you're going to click audio and then extract. You're going to click on it, and it should be this sound. You are going to add it into your project, and you're going to crop it, and you want it right in the beginning when the intro starts. And so you want to move it, and it should sound like this. Once you have that, you'll see an option that says fade, and you can fade it in or out so that it doesn't start or end so abruptly. Then from here, we're going to add sound effects, and the rest of them are in CapCut, so you don't have to find them from YouTube. But you're just going to click on audio and then sound effects, and in the search, you're going to search page flip, and you're going to click this one here. Then you're going to add it, and you're going to put it right where the airplane is. Then from here, you're going to click on sound effects again, and you're going to search paper rip, and you're going to use this one here. Once you add that, you're going to put it where the transition is, and it should look something like this. Once you have that, you're going to add your actual music. So you're going to go to audio, and you can add an extracted sound. You can add a sound from CapCut, whatever you would like, and you're going to add it. And if it's too long, you can just hold down on it and you can shrink it. And again, you can fade it in or out so that it doesn't start or end so abruptly. And that's what I'm doing here. This is how everything should look. Once everything looks the way you'd like it to look, you were going to shut off AI Ultra HD, put it at 4K at 60 FPS, and save it to your device. And this is the final intro.